I'm Pastor Mike Custer, the pastor at Bible Baptist Church in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I'm happy to be able to share a few moments with you this morning talking about an important spiritual principle from the Word of God. Most people are familiar with the 40 years of wilderness wandering of the children of Israel and how the nation just existed in futility, it seems, because they would not believe God, would not trust God to take the promised land when He offered it to them. And so they had to spend 40 years in the wilderness just wandering around, and all of the adult population died off during that time until the next generation rose up who would trust God to give them that promised land. Maybe you'll remember that at the beginning of that time, Moses had sent 12 spies to spy out the land of Canaan, and 10 of them came back with an unfaithful, unbelieving report. The two who were faithful were Joshua and Caleb. And these two said, "We can do this. God has promised us this land." And it was just a matter of them believing God and accepting God's promises that He would do what He said He would do. Well, years later, these two men still lived, and Joshua and Caleb were among the two who were adults at the time who actually lived through that 40-year wilderness wandering time and went into the promised land. And at the end of that 40 years, when they took the land of Canaan, uh, Caleb went to Joshua and he said something particular in Joshua chapter 14, verse 12, that I want to share with you today. He said, "Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof the Lord spake in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord had said." And he had in his mind to have that region all those 40 years, and he said, "Moses promised me I could have this, and I want this mountain. Give me this mountain." We sing a song that says, "I want this, I want that mountain, I want that mountain." And the whole concept is of understanding God's will and not quitting on it and not backing down and not giving up until the task is completed. There's something to be said for determination on that level that says, I just am not going to stop. I'm not going to quit. We see around us too many who don't have strength of character to just keep on, whether it be because they're praying for their loved one to be saved, or whether they're going to seek the Lord's face, they're going to fast and pray until they get an answer from heaven on some other area. They just will not take no for an answer, and they'll keep on with humility, but with faith, and they'll keep on asking, "Give me this mountain. I just want to see victory in this area. I believe it's God's will for this to be happening in my life, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to just keep on until it's accomplished." And obviously, it has to be something that's spiritually based, a spiritual desire, and that's what Caleb had. He had something that he believed God had put on his heart, and he said, "I'm not going to quit." And 40 years later, he was still holding on to that dream. He was still holding on to that desire, and he saw it come to pass because of his great determination and his willingness to follow through and go ahead and be what God wanted him to be. What an inspiration to us today. We have things that we desire to see happen, and sometimes we are easily turned aside. We are easily frustrated or discouraged from continuing to seek those goals and hold those things before the Lord as a goal that we feel so strongly about that we're not going to let go of. May God give us a determination that will cause us to keep on and keep on seeking and keep on asking, no matter what may occur. Jesus gave a widow woman in a parable in Luke chapter 18 a very fine compliment when he said she just kept on, even though this judge to whom she was taking her case was unjust and unfair. We call this importunity, where a person just keeps on asking and won't give up and won't quit until they see the blessing. May God help you that thing that's on your heart today, don't give up. Just keep on praying. Just keep on seeking the Lord and asking God to bring it to pass and believing his word and claiming his promises. And he'll be faithful and he'll do it. God bless you today.